Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do a quick Doctor Strange comic book style sketch. So when you have your pencil ready, we can draw. There will be some foreshortening involved, which means that certain objects will appear bigger than they usually are because they're right up in the view first. So to put that up, we have this very rough circle and very thin lines. Then just go over a little bit, just make that line sort of thing, and another smaller circle right here, and the oval right here. And as you have guessed, this will be his head. Another circle right there. Now what we do know is that the second shoulder, this is the shoulder, this is a hand, the first hand, the second hand also slightly enlarged but more in proportion to the face over here. And then we have, that's the forearm, that is the upper arm, the shoulder, and there we have it. So he's usually casting spells with those hands, so that's what we are trying to reflect. So one line like that is going to keep it toward the right side a little more, it would be better, just to give it more precision. And there we have it. So the object that is in the forefront, we're going to deal with that first. So it's also essentially a practice in anatomy. So two lines right there, an oval right here. So we put an oval and to a curve like that. That is the thumb, index finger, smaller finger, and put just two sausage-like things here. There, that'll be the middle finger, and the second last. There's the hand, the bottom of the hand right there. And then over here, pretty much the same practice. Try to make sure that the sausages or the digits in the middle are curving like this way. Here we are, those are the hands, and since this is right in the forefront, we're going to start with this. In this case, the thumb comes before the rest of the fingers. Now every hand is different, so since this is a sort of a lesson in anatomy as well, we can, I'm going to put the fingers a bit down and make this a little more cleaner so that you could follow better. So we have one hand almost nailed. We'll put the other hand down quickly as well, except that varying depending on the angle that you utilize. And in this case, just to make it a little more interesting or more dynamic, I'm going to have the thumb going that way, so sticking out instead of bending in. And the good doctor, like, he works a lot with his hands when it comes to casting spells. So right behind him is the exercise in foreshortening. So I would actually first put in the anatomy. So this will be the shoulder, that is for sure. A little bit of the arm could show here, and that is the forearm. So it's easier than you think. Then when we're putting in the other details, it will be very important to get this those details going. So the neck, let's say the neck, part of the neck is here, the shoulder will, according to perspective, show somewhere there, and then you could just do that for his forearm and the elbow. You do not need to go into too much detail to set this out. Now we are going to put in his fabric first. He has those characteristic robes, so a part of that will show like so. A part of that loose fabric is here, I understand, and he has gloves there. Show a little bit of the chest there, and similarly loose robes here, and a part of the glove just showing there behind that hand. So you have that much nailed. Now you'll put in the details into his fingers. The skin folds, thumbnail, skin folds, give the hands more character. If he is wearing gloves, now I mentioned glove here, so he has like two versions, one bare hands and one is where he just dons gloves. If it's gloves, you can let go of the details and just put in some bit of details, for example folds going like that, just to show fabric. Or you could go this way and show hands, and he's just wearing wrist and forearm bands from there. Now if you have to show more of the face, I would compromise that a little bit, bring that down, and then we will focus. Let's put a line here for more perspective. Let's make that curved. So then we will have that going, so more or less of a flatter brow, thin nose around that line, and the mouth right there. He has in the comics not chubby features, but he has more fine lined, and if you say refined and gentlemanly features that are somewhat in line with his original profession, and that is he's a doctor. So we put those in, give the eyes some characters there, some character that he's. So you saw I put in the upper lid there behind each eye. So very we are doing, if you're doing this as a simple sketch, we're doing this, it's not good old Benedict from the movies, it's the generic Doctor Strange from the comics. He has a head that is more flat in most of the medium that is he's depicted in. Of course he has that flowing cape in the background that you could show from one of different angles, or you could show it flowing around him like this. And then he has in that characteristic white hair. I'm going to take those stray lines off. He has that patch of white here, and the rest of the hair is pretty much black. And of course, if you were going down to set some details in, you would make this more refined. There's the eyebrows, the pensive, worried and thinking eyebrows, and then there's that element we're missing, the strange mustache. Of course, you could round this off with another fabric underneath, or just give it black. It would help. And there we have it, foreshortened pose of Doctor Strange. So thank you for watching. You could try him in different poses, of course, but he can be more dynamic as you think if you know how to play around with the hands. And of course, once we're done, we'll be putting in some spell effects right there on each arm. Now if it's just a simple sketch, you could just draw some random hieroglyphics and throw them in. If it's in color, it can even work in black and white, but otherwise that is the quick Dr. Strange sketch. I'm going to just go into speed art mode and finish the rest of him off with some details that you will see are essential in putting in light and shade and crosshatch. Thank you for watching, and have yourself a wonderful day.